I think that, basically it's not expensive. If you know how to identify the right blockchain and what application you need, all your business doesn't need blockchain. There are certain aspects of business which need blockchain, which I told you, the fixed model, basically to secure all your records so nobody can manipulate them. That's where you really need, and it's not it doesn't replace any technology. It really complements technology. So basically, it's a really great friend and not an enemy, and it doesn't replace anybody. It mixes like sugar in tea, makes it even more tasty. That's all.
Welcome to the Blue Circle, an exclusive keynote address just for us. It's such a big privilege and pleasure to connect with everyone and our distinguished keynote speaker, who is handpicked because of the think input and the rich experience he brings in. Thank you also to the leaders, to our distinguished audience for joining us, most of whom are CEOs, CXOs, and senior leaders. Many of them are our members and are repeat visitors to our webinars. This is very encouraging and motivates us to provide even higher levels of dialogue through the online mode as well. For those of you who are new with us today, Blue Circle is the world's first sector-specific networking app for industry professionals that's built in India. We currently focus on 20 sector communities such as e-mobility, renewable energy, tech, real estate, and many more. We also present socioeconomic insights which ultimately determine the evolving complexion of the market. Along with our weekly webinar series and our digital publication, you will be happy to know that we have recently launched the first version of the Blue Circle app for industry professionals, somewhat like the sector-specific LinkedIn, a space to have meaningful conversations, connect with the over 15,000 plus like-minded leaders from India and across the globe, house high-quality curated content, and access business opportunities across such sectors. Now, without further ado, I'm pleased to introduce today's keynote speaker, Mr. Raj Kapoor. Raj is the founder of India Blockchain Alliance, the largest Indian emerging technology think tank, and an advisory board member at over 20 blockchain companies, including Floix, Spherium, XX Trips. Apologies if my pronunciation wasn't correct. He's a global blockchain and cryptocurrency and fintech educator, certified Bitcoin professional, blockchain solution architect, and friend of disruptive ideas, the chairman for Organization of Blockchain Technology Users. He's also the Asia lead technology and innovation at Blockspace Technologies. Raj has designed and worked on 4 blockchains, 5 centralized exchanges, 3 swaps, and 3 DEXs. Now, without further ado, and for today's topic, I'd like to introduce that Mr. Kapoor will be discussing blockchain for business beyond crypto and Bitcoin. Now, I request Mr. Kapoor to please begin the session. Thank you.
Thanks, Gautam. Wonderful to be here with you guys at Blue Circle. Really nice. Probably I should be there as well. And I'm going to make sure I'm there after this immediately. Right. We got 20 minutes. In the 20 minutes, I'll try and pack in whatever a little bit I can. Frankly speaking, 20 minutes is just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. We just skim through a little bit of blockchain, but it's a great topic and it's a very relevant topic today. So let's get started right away. I won't take too much of your time on this. And here we go. I'm going to share my presentation here. I'm going to switch up my video for a few minutes while I show you my presentation, and I'll switch it back again. Right. Here's our subject for the day. It says blockchain for business. Beyond crypto and Bitcoin. Of course, the first thing which I tell everybody, and most of us know it, but some of us don't, Bitcoin is not blockchain and blockchain is not Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin is a great use case on the blockchain, just like a car on the highway. That's not the only vehicle. There are so many more use cases of blockchain, and that's what I'm going to just try and skim across today. So let's start with one beautiful saying. And guys, all of us who are in business, who are in the enterprise space, or students or learners or in the tech space, this is a line that's going to be with us for the rest of the next 25 to 50 years. I don't know how long, but minimum 20, 25 years for sure. Very soon, we won't trust anything unless it's backed by blockchain. Bookmark this line. It came up in Forbes a few months back, sorry, and it's a really impact line. We won't trust anything unless it's backed by blockchain. Right? When they say anything, means any process, any platform, everything. And the rest of the slides will justify exactly what I'm saying here. Just for those who really are a little gray about the blockchain space. So blockchain, people call that an institutional technology, not just information technology. And there's a huge difference between the two. Institutions like, say, a university or a government remain where they are while others come and go. Blockchain is here to stay. It's institutional. Also, blockchain has the power to monetize, guys. And because you can monetize, well, you're an institution. You can create rewards. You can create an economy around yourself, around a technology. No other technology, however beautiful it is, allows that or makes us an institution. So let's come back a little faster. For those who don't know blockchain is nothing but digital ledger technology where we keep all our data, not in a centralized database, but a decentralized database. It is distributed, it is disintermediated, it is immutable. These are the three biggest pillars of blockchain. It's distributed. There isn't one place where it is stored. It is stored in multiple places. It is disintermediated. There's no authority which claims that it is mine, say like a Microsoft or an Apple or Amazon or anybody else for that matter. So, and it's immutable. Once you put data in the block, you can never change it. Oh, let's come a little bit to India. It's more relevant to us right now. So we have the India blockchain journey. In India, we've got 3 documents, well, actually 4, but I've highlighted the 3 which are really critically important. Started off in Jan, right up till December, we had 3 documents on the national strategy around blockchain, 1 by NITI Aayog, 2 by the Ministry of Electronics and IT, by IT. So why did they take out these documents? Why aren't there more documents are in AI or cloud or any other subject? Well, because blockchain is the subject of a key focus by the government of India. And I'm not speaking about crypto. I'm talking blockchain, the technology. So the last one in December 2021 was a code document. You can download all these on the internet, guys. So it basically identified the key areas where the applications of blockchain would be, especially from a government perspective, what they need to do, what partnerships they need to forge, what are the challenges they will face, where are the use cases, what are the priority areas, everything is mentioned in these. Why I'm highlighting this is because beyond Bitcoin and crypto, there is a huge technology that's a revolutionary technology, and that's what we are going to be talking about today. So why is it important? I'll just give you 4 or 5 points. There's many, many reasons. I just put 4 or 5 points because we've got 20 minutes, guys. And it records and validates every transaction made, every transaction, not just the outer box, every transaction inside the box. That's very critical. Second, it discards the need for third-party peer-to-peer transactions. It's one-to-one, me to you, you to me. That's it. I don't need anybody in the middle. That's a very critical aspect of blockchain. I'm not getting into a lecture on that, but that's going to be very useful going further in any business. Users are in control of the transactions. You and I are in control. I don't need anybody else to control my database. I really don't need that. I don't need millions of people across the country having access to my database. No, or my number or my email ID. Wow, they got everything. Now, it also reduces transaction times to minutes and available 24/7. And systems that are decentralized, that means not in one place, are therefore safer and less likely to be hacked. That's really cool because there's too many hacking things happening every day. And I won't talk about them right now. That's a separate lecture altogether. So let's see some of the sectors. Now, when we talked about blockchain, we also must see which sectors are adopting blockchain. And any questions coming in here, I will definitely answer. Or Radhika, Aishwarya, Rahul, I'll give you all the answers at the end of this. No worries, okay? I'll take all the questions. So sectors using blockchain, oh, there are plenty of them. Banking, government, insurance, this is a dynamic pie chart. It keeps changing every month. This and so much more. I'm going to show you some slides after that, which will substantiate and tell us why this is happening. Let's take healthcare, and I'll go quick. I'll spend just a couple of minutes. Healthcare. This is what we can do, what blockchain is impacting, the cold chain tracking. In fact, we are doing a pilot project with several governments on cold chain tracking. That's a big thing. Drug provenance. That is, where do the drugs originate? So that we get the right factual drugs rather than getting powder, etc. Health records. Health records are being completely put on the blockchain in many countries, right from the beginning, right from your vaccination, right through your life cycle. All the records are going to go onto the blockchain at some point of time. And one that, because then it's so much easier to take a little card or your blockchain hash ID, and any hospital, any clinic, any doctor can have access to your records with your permission anywhere in the world. You don't have to keep taking tests and getting analysis done. Real-time updation all the time. Organ registry, pharma track and trace, a physician certification. How many of us actually know that a lot of our doctors, not in the city so much, but in other places, are not even certified or not even have renewed their registration? Blockchain eliminates this possibility. Of course, there's so many more. We'll come to that. Some of the companies in India, which are actually either experimenting or implementing some good blockchain practices, Apollo hospitals, work hard. Many more, but these are big. Dr. Lal Patlabs recently is also experimenting on this as well. E-commerce and retail. We all know about e-commerce and retail, all about a distributed marketplace, the food auditing, inventory control, loyalty programs, procurement, supply chain. That is a very critical aspect of blockchain. Supply chain traceability is big. Walmart was one of the early adopters of that. We can have the entire supply chain tracked on blockchain and eliminate 70% of middlemen and costs. Now, that's a pretty good deal, right? So customer loyalty programs also again in this. Lots of things happening. Trust me, 20 minutes, well, I could speak 20 months on this subject, but let's keep it to the 20 minutes we have now. Real estate. We got fractionalized real estate assets, marketplace, data protection, document verification. In fact, I'm working on a project with one of the governments where I'm putting all land titling on the blockchain to eliminate or reduce unnecessary disputes or duplication of documents. Now, some may like it, some may not like it, but well, that's the way, guys, that's the way forward. And that's how it's going to be. In the future, in the next 5 to 10 years, will entirely be, the real estate future will be on the blockchain, where documentation will not be the cause for litigations, hopefully, as we go forward. We also have a complete construction project management where we completely put the entire construction process right from the time the allocation, you buy the land clearances, right from the time that you build in the foundations, and then you start putting up the plinths and you start putting up everything else, right from the tracking and tracing of all the equipment, all the material we utilize, everything is being put on the blockchain. Why on the blockchain? Nobody can manipulate it. Nobody can actually even tamper the records. Nobody, and it's very easy to track and trace everything which is required to make that happen, including on-time salaries, on-time payments for labor, so on and so forth. A lot of things all on the blockchain. E-governance, of course, you'll be happy to know or surprised to know either. At India, for example, as a nation, we have 90 plus projects on the blockchain from a government perspective. The government of India has many, many programs, which includes birth certificates, death certificates, digital credentialing, vaccinations, land titling, some healthcare projects also going on, public distribution system. All these and a lot of government schemes are soon experimenting with going onto the blockchain, including, I hope in the future, driving licenses on the blockchain. I'm doing a pilot project for one of the RTOs, asset tracking, asset registration, digital identity, your KYCs, everything, digital currency. We all know that CBDC is coming up very soon. We just had a pilot of it last week or 10 days back. That's happening. Digital voting is being, they're doing the digital voting pilot in Telangana right now, even food distribution. So that's a lot of them. Utilities, electricity grid management, trading, shared equipment, green certification, all this is all on the blockchain. We can lock all carbon credits on a blockchain for verifiable carbon credits as well. Wholesale energy supplies, a lot of them. In fact, Australia has been one of the key countries to have started this. India is following through. We have a huge project happening in the UP as well. That's a government project as well. Manufacturing, oh, there are so many sectors, guys. I mean, I can go on and on, but I'll just quickly go through this. Preventive maintenance, supply chain, warranties, automated warranties and payments, which can be made on a smart contract, all these and much, much more. Oh, the largest sector is the BFSI sector. I don't really have to read the whole lot out, but bottom line is, when Bitcoin was created, it was to create a disruption in the banking system. And they were the first adopters of this technology. So today we can talk about trade finance on blockchain, securities, Forex, risk management, ID management, claims, reinsurance, a lot of things happening. In fact, we are now soon going to see the advent of fractionalized assets, like fractionalized real estate, fractionalized bonds, tokenized. The tokenization is already coming, although it's not on the blockchain. The tokenization of credit cards and debit cards has already started. Soon that would migrate over a few years on to the blockchain as well. So these are some of the really important things. There are many more, but I'll stick to these right now. And basically, if you really put all of them in a bunch of 4 different sectors, this slide highlights where the real applications are, or the more popular applications of blockchain have been of late in the last couple of years. So if you see digital currency in the e-commerce, global payments, remittance, lending, microfinance, you can have a look at the slide. Healthcare, title records, voting, intellectual property, all these. And in the securities also, you see a lot of people actually working on the blockchains. Smart contracts, of course, escrows, wagers, digital rights, lots more. Blockchain runs on smart contracts anyways. This is just a little bit of a synopsis of what I've just spoken. These are what I've told you about. India has got 90 plus projects. Of course, in fact, Karnataka has Karnataka, Andhra, and Tamil Nadu are really big on that now. Maharashtra taking up big time. And of course, West Bengal, which a lot of people feel is not very in sync with technology. Sorry, but there's a lot of actually things happening there. Delhi also now, Punjab happening, Haryana supply chain of all the crops is being piloted. Lots of things happening. And while that is happening, I have a little hang here. But in the meantime, while this thing is hung up, I'll also tell you one thing. Apart from these 90 plus projects, the government, the NCDEX is looking at the application of blockchain. As we speak, we are also looking at in Karnataka, the public distribution system going on to the blockchain as well. So there's a lot happening within that space. And not only will it happen now, it'll keep happening for the next few years because this is just the beginning. I don't know how many of us know that in Maharashtra, for example, sorry, I'll come back to my slide. Thank you. Yeah. Right. Sorry for the little glitch, but yes, that's it. 60%. I don't want you to read everything else. Just the headlines would be sufficient for today. 60% of states in India are crypto tech adopters. Global crypto industry crossing 1.6 billion in 2021. It's already done that. And 2.3 billion by 2026. It's already close to that. And just forget everything else and look at the 7 key trends driving the growth, because I've got just another few minutes to talk on this. You see, Bitcoin has become the digital gold. Smart contracts are becoming big. Decentralized finance has started showing up big time. Tokenization is becoming big. NFTs we've heard of now is also rising. And there's a huge rise of crypto capital over the last 1.5 years, including a lot of funds being set up in India, specifically for blockchain and what we call Web 3.0. And of course, the CBDCs. And now, before we go, I want to talk to you a little bit about, while we've seen a lot of application areas of blockchain, we also have a new phenomena coming in called the Web 3.0. People are talking about it. People are saying, all right, we need this, without really realizing what it is. And frankly speaking, it's another subject for another time. But the bottom line is, The third web, which is going to be the decentralized web. Right now, it's Web 2, it's centralized. You don't have the power of your data. It's with the Facebooks, it's with the Amazons, it's with everybody else but you. Here is coming Web 3, which says, listen, we'll give the power back to you. The data, your content is going to be yours. Right now, people make money out of our data. We all know that. Now, they will ask you permission to use your data. Right now, you've already given them the permission when you sign up for a LinkedIn or a Facebook or whatever. Well, that's the way it is. That's fine. It was like that. It's going to change now over the next 5 years. We're very early in the space right now, but that's sort of space. So it's the new phase of the internet, bringing the net to a whole new level. They're going to make the internet smarter, lives easier, and we can talk about Web3 in another session if you like. I'm happy to drive you through that, because the world and enterprise move from Web2 to Web3, utilizing things like NFTs, utilizing the different components of Web3, NFT, the metaverse, gaming, decentralized finance. Oh, it's a never-ending discussion. But those new terminologies, the new lexicon of Web 3.0 is going to pervade our lives over the next few years. So let's read, write, execute, says Tim Berners-Lee. He was the gentleman who created the web. In fact, he had predicted Web 3.0 long back, and now it's becoming the next reality. So in Web 1, this is how you should log in. Web 2, you could sign in with all of these. Now you can connect to everything with just your wallet. That's going to be the future. One wallet will connect to everything. You don't need any other username and passwords. Once you create a wallet, that's it. And all the data is stored in your wallet, and only you have access to it, and you can decide to share or not. So that's about 2, 3. This is going to be the next business era. We've actually created the world's first Web3 email now. That's going to be something revolutionary. We're going to be launching it with the government very soon. And we've also created the world's first Web3 pen drives, most secure way of securing our data in the easiest possible way, because these are everyday things which we use. Anyways, that and much more. So I always say, let the journey begin, guys. Ask me, and happy to answer your questions. I see some in the box. I will answer those, and any others which come in, I'm happy to answer those as well. So what I'm going to do now, stop the share and speak to you one-on-one through the chat box. Let me put on my camera again, and here I am, just back again. Right, that was a real, quick fire 20 minutes of trying to explain what more is there in this space. I'll answer the questions. Okay with you, Anand?
Sure, surely.
Right. All right, I have a question. Are blockchain restricted to tracking goods and making payments? If not, well, I think that answer, Aradhika, I think after the presentation, you would have got the answer. There are for so many more things. Tracking and tracing is just one of them. They're for storage of data. They're for not only for payments. They could be used for healthcare. They can be used in logistics, energy, trade, fractionalization of real estate assets. I can go on and on, but I think I'll not be able to answer the other questions then. So this presentation has most of it. I'll take the next one. How would companies approach a business blockchain implementation project? Very good question. First, there is a simple formula which I have. It's called the FITS model. So Aishwarya, try and apply that. If there is an incidence of fraud in any of the business transaction or the business processes which you have in the company, that is F. F stands for fraud. If there is a chance of a fraud, use blockchain. The second is I, information. If there's a lot of information exchange and you need to keep that secure, that's the I part of it. F, fraud, I, information. T, trust. If there are trust issues, like there are too many people involved, too many, like in a supply chain, there are so many vendors, everybody's involved. That's trust. And the fourth is S. S is security. You all need secure data. So FITS, fraud, information, trust, and security. These are the 4 things which you really need to keep in mind if my business is going to get impacted by those, and most of them are, well, you need blockchain. And once you do that, we do a complete scoping and figure out where we can start. Everywhere we can apply it, right from the time you have employees onboarding to get their credentials verified instantly on the blockchain, rather than giving it to agencies and it'll come after 15 days or 20 days or universities to check the degrees. instant right there. So starting from there, right from a manufacturing process, right from your project management, we can implement it everywhere. But again, we need to scope it out. So we'd approach it by first the fits model. If it fits in, then we talk blockchain. Given all the ways blockchain has disrupted methods of transaction, and record keeping, how quickly in which sectors can be greater adoption? Okay, I think this also, I think I must have answered it. But right now, the top 3 areas of application have been A is e-governance, supply chain, and healthcare. These are the 3 taking in big. In fact, by 2025, almost 50% plus applications in the healthcare space would be on the blockchain. So that's, I think, the fastest growing area right now, supply chain being the next. And e-governance, of course, the government needs all that. Is it true that blockchain is almost impossible to hack? Answer is yes. However, there is a little tweak here. Quantum computing can actually get into a blockchain, but it's not ready yet. And blockchains have already upped their security protocols till then. So almost impossible is the right answer. Well, it's almost impossible. I would say it's impossible right now. You can't hack a blockchain. You can hack parts of something else, the protocols, if the securities are not put there, but blockchains can't be hacked. Okay. Other than for securing land record, where else is the government using the blockchain technology? So Rahul, I think my slide had quite a lot of those things. We're using it in supply chain, public distribution system, birth records, death records. Then we're putting it in chit funds, also, securing, for example, land titling, of course, you mentioned here, e-governance of all your records, credentialing of all documents, all these and much, much more. Supply chain is being used, warehousing, logistics, tracking of, crops, etc. Even putting weather data on the blockchain to predict weather patterns in the future. That's also going to be there. So can Bitcoins get hacked? The answer is no. You're an anonymous attendee. You don't want anybody to know. If you're trying to get hacked Bitcoin, it's a waste of time. It's very important. It's impossible. Since implementing is expensive, can a business go with high priority first? I don't know who told you it's expensive. It's not expensive at all. It works beautifully. It doesn't, So I think that basically it's not expensive if you know how to identify the right blockchain and what application you need. All your business doesn't need blockchain. There are certain aspects of business which need blockchain, which I told you, the fixed model, basically to secure all your records so nobody can manipulate them. That's where you really need, and it's not it doesn't replace any technology. It really complements technology. So basically, it's a really great friend and not an enemy, and it doesn't replace anybody. It mixes like sugar in tea, makes it even more tasty. That's all. So enjoy the space, bye. That's all I can say right now. Any other questions for me, or we're good to go?
Fantastic. So I'll wait for maybe a minute or two.
Yeah.
But I had a question myself because I was going through your presentation while you were giving it to us. Yeah. It was interesting about Web 3.0. You're saying that it becomes more user first and then the company.
Yes.
Right? So now you're saying that you can pick and choose where you want to give permissions. Yes. Now that also happens currently, but what happens with that is when you start restricting companies, they start restricting your user experience as well. So how do you see Web 3.0 not, at least overcoming that issue from that point of view?
I'll tell you what, if you see right now also, very simple thing, a lot of users have now moved from Google Chrome to another browser, the other browser being Brave. Why have they gone that? They don't want people chasing them with numbers. Your numbers, your data, everything goes to Google when you're searching. Right now also, everything what we are doing is all going there. It's going somewhere. Somebody got it. Okay, because we've given it permission to take it. You don't have a choice. Without that, we can't enter the systems right now. What Web3 will do basically is allow them. You are going to get monetized for your data. Everything you can share. Today, when you get into a Facebook or somewhere, you put in all your details. They take it and then let you go into and enjoy Facebook, right? What they don't tell you is actually they make more money selling your data n number of times to marketing agencies and other people and whoever needs it. That will change to the fact that you will now be paid or compensated or given tokens for that data. That's going to change. Nothing more will change excepting that. Also, when I say you have the power to share your data, If suppose I don't want to share my data with somebody, why should I share my data? Do you know that one of India's largest pathology labs during COVID picked up all our data because all of us, whoever had to go for a COVID test, and they sold it so many times that he sold his own business for 2,500 crores. And now he's become a blockchain fan. He's invested in 4 to 6 projects in the blockchain space. I mean, I love that part that somebody's okay using blockchain for a good thing. But bottom line is, you and I paid for our tests, and somebody had made 2,500 crores. Not a bad idea, I guess. So that's Web 2. In Web 3, you might be able to make it 2,000 crores if so many people love your data. What will also happen is the right data, the targeted data, what you want to share. If you want to know more about automobiles, you can share data in that space. You want to know, share. If you want to, I don't want to know, I don't need a credit card or a loan. Right now, everybody calls me for that. Why do I need to give that? So I will be having the choice to share my data wherever I want and give the permission to do so also. So all said and done, the power will be in your hands to decide how much you want to share and how much you want to share. If you also have the same option, I'm okay with sharing. And there you are, you're back to normal. Only it becomes more decentralized. Your data, nobody can steal. Right now, everybody can hack it out. You go to the dark web, everybody's data is available. Everything. My wife's data I found there. I said, I didn't know so many things about my wife. So now I know. It's a good or a bad thing, I don't know, but it's not safe. Also, as a creator, if I upload a video or an article, I will be paid for any download which happens, which doesn't happen on Play. If I want to monetize it, if I want to give it free, it's fine. But if I feel that I've done some hard work, I've created a jingle I'll be able to prove it's mine. I put it on YouTube. Everybody can see it. Everybody can download it today. There's another one now called Steam It. They're changing the paradigm. So a lot of things happening. It's just the beginning. There are so many things happening. A lot of storage, everything. Storage is coming. Dropbox will go. They'll reinvent. I'm not saying they will go. They will all reinvent and move towards Web3. Web3 is 5 to 8 years away right now. But it's the beginning has started. That's all.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
We'll move on to the next question, but I think it's something overlapping to the question which I asked by Arun Kumari Singh. Will the cookies be deleted to improve privacy?
Yeah. The only cookies we'll have are the ones we eat. That's all.
No, I really enjoyed the point where you said that we may also get incentivized. So I would be looking forward to that as well.
Well, I'll give you 10 platforms where you can really incentivize for sharing your data, and you'll make a good side income anyways, guys.
I think we should connect after this then.
Right, guys. Anything else? So
Utpal, I by mistake put an answer, but Utpal Gandhi said, can we see paradigm shift in equity valuations of companies being valued based on data rather than revenue? So maybe companies.
That's a very good question, because I also speak the same language when I say that it's going to be, well, data is the new gold. We all know that. And data is the only thing which is infinite. Every other resource will be finite, whether it's gold, platinum, cash reserves, anything else. But data, and when I talk about data, it doesn't have to be bullshit data. It has to be relevant data. That will be the basis of valuations. And also the future of valuations are also going to become tokenized. There are going to be more tokenized economies, more tokenized companies, which have a different valuation levels. And that's going to be the next wave on by 2030, is about my prediction is, and it's already started. So yes, I think the valuations paradigm will completely turn on its head.
Interesting. The last question is by Olok, and thank you for also overstaying your time. I'll quickly go through it. The question is, what are the potential challenges in case of implementation of blockchain in cross-border investment services, especially to comply with regulatory requirements or compliance, that is DTA, withholding tax?
Yeah. In fact, that is the biggest, actually, that's the question and the answer in its own way, for that matter. The biggest hurdles are the compliances right now. We have no clarity. A, because there is no policy. B, there are no firm standards and frameworks. C, if we need to have all these. It's like I always say, people say, oh, but then it will not become, centralized. It'll become centralized if you have all these things. Well, as I always say, and jewelry, it's 24 karat gold. You cannot make jewelry out of 24 karat gold. But when you alloy it a little bit and make it 22 carats by adding a little copper, then you can give it a shape. The same thing, a decentralized system needs a little bit of compliance, the right frameworks, let it flourish, as well as make the impact that is meant to be. So we need a little bit more of that coming in. And it's going to come at some point in time. So let's wait for that. And all right, folks, I really need to go now. I have a flight to catch in some time. So anything else from my side, feel free to reach out on LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out to Gautam. Happy to answer anytime.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Kapoor. Such an insightful and engaging session and a privilege to hear you. And also, thank you to our leaders in the audience for joining us and for staying till the end and always sharing excellent questions.
Thank you, folks. So, till we meet again. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a safe flight.